Merrimack TV is committed to our community. From gavel-to-gavel coverage of town and school board meetings to updates on town services and projects, we aim to keep you connected.
Good morning, I'm Kyle Fox, Public Works Director for the town of Merrimack.
Hi, I'm Diane Trippett. I'm the town clerk tax collector for the town of Merrimack.
I'm Captain Matt Tarleton with the Merrimack, New Hampshire Police Department.
And keep the public informed of every motion.
All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
And many moments, so you can be confident that we're here for you. Thanks for watching. Stay connected. Follow Merrimack TV on Facebook.
Okay, good evening. This May 17th, 2021 meeting of the Merrimack Conservation Commission is called to order. We are doing this meeting remotely, virtually, in accordance with Governor Snood's Emergency Order number 12, pursuant to Executive Order 2020-04, which was extended by Executive Order 2021-08. This commission is authorized to meet remotely. And before we begin, just for the record, I'll start, and I'll ask each member just say where they are, whether they can hear the audio, why they're participating remotely, and any others who are with them in the room. If none, please state none. I'll go first. I'm Steve Perkins. I am participating remotely due to COVID precautions. I am alone in an office where I work, and I can hear the audio. Mike Boisvert, would you go next?
Hi, I'm Mike Boisvert. I'm participating remotely due to concerns for COVID-19. I'm alone in this room right now, and I can hear the audio just fine.
Thank you, Mike. Gina?
I'm Gina Rosati. I am participating electronically from home. Attendance in person is not reasonably practical due to COVID-19. I am alone in the room I am in, and I can hear the proceedings.
Excellent. Thank you. Gage?
This is Gage Perry. I'm participating remotely due to COVID-19 restrictions, and I can hear the audio fine.
Excellent. Thank you. Cindy?
Hi, Cindy Glenn, participating remotely because of COVID-19. I am at home and I'm alone in the room, and I can hear the proceedings. Thank you.
Yeah, certainly. Eric?
I am Eric Starr. I am participating remotely in my home due to COVID-19, and I can hear everyone just fine.
Fantastic. Mike Druin?
I am Mike Druin. I'm participating remotely because of COVID-19. I'm home and alone, and I can hear everyone fine.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Tim?
Hi, I'm Tim Tenhave. I'm participating remotely due to COVID-19 precautions. I can hear everyone just fine, and I am alone in this room.
Excellent. And Ellen? Oh, you're on mute.
There we go. I'm Ellen Kolb. I am participating remotely due to COVID concerns. I'm at home.
Excellent. And you can hear the audio. Councilor Murphy is not with us. Mike Druin, would you sit in as a voting member?
Yeah.
Thank you very much. So I guess that's everything as we do with these and continue to do with these remote meetings. All votes will be by roll call. So I'll try to keep the same order so you can anticipate when I'm going to get to you, but all votes will be by roll call. I don't see any members of the public present, so we don't have any public comment. We also don't have any public hearings, appointments. I will share that. Ellen, we interviewed with the appointment committee probably, I don't know, Ellen, it had to have been back in October.
Yeah.
So one, we're appreciative you had the interest in joining this in this commission, and two, we appreciate you sticking around until we had a vacancy. So
well, I'm happy to be here. Look forward to learning things.
We're thrilled to have you, and for those of us that were there, I think a lot of the members probably know you, but it was my first time to meet you there, but brings all kinds of excitement and experiences that this commission will certainly profit from going forward. So thank you. It was really all for appointments. We do not have any statutory business tonight in what it looks to be a pretty short agenda. We did have a couple new business items and old business items that did require us. They were time sensitive in nature, so that's why we did keep this meeting on the schedule. The only option would have been to call a special meeting. Really, I think just made sense. We didn't have time to really put one on the schedule, so we moved forward with the scheduled meeting. But the first new business item we have is Merrimack Fire and Rescue, Safe Outdoor Recreation Program, and it looks like if we can get her unmuted, and we have already done that. Thank you, Justin. Melissa Winters is here from Merrimack Fire and Rescue, and Melissa, I'll turn it over to you if you want to tell us a little bit about what your proposal includes.
Thank you so very much, and I appreciate you guys taking the time tonight. I am unfortunately at a car dealership. My car had some trouble today, so I'm meeting with you from here. I apologize for the background noise. One of the things that us in the town have noticed, and I'm sure you guys have noticed it too, is that there's been an increase in the use of our trail systems. With that has become very evident that we also have a lot of new outdoor enthusiasts who don't have a lot of experience and tend to be less prepared than they should be for the environments that they encounter. Merrimack Fire has noticed an increase in the need for rescues, whether it be for injury or just lost hikers or hikers caught out after dark without any sort of flashlight. So what we've done is get together with some department heads in town to acquire all the materials for like the 10 essentials to be on our apparatus so that we can go and rescue those people safely. Until this point, we had EMS equipment that we would deploy with and very large headlamps or handheld lights, but nothing for the person we were rescuing if they were ambulatory. So to that end, we've recently just acquired everything we need to deploy quickly, get them warmed up, and get them moving again. One of the things that we don't have are a trail system map that we can manipulate for our needs. So what I was hoping to get from you guys at some point in the near future is the digital file for your trail maps. We do have the paper maps that we've been using to this point, but the digital maps, if we could get our hands on those to manipulate them for our exact needs. The other thing that I had decided to introduce, given my background in wilderness medicine and my extensive experience with long trail hiking, is introducing a CPR class for the outdoor environment. I'll also be teaching leave no trace, basic map reading and compass skills, staying found techniques, what to do if you are lost, self-rescue, and talking about the hike safe card. So if you guys have any members who would like to come and speak at one of those meetings, one of those trainings, I would love that. But in the interim, I was looking for those digital copies of maps. And if anyone has any questions, I am very open to that.
Where are these classes going to be?
I've already talked to Parks and Rec, and Matt is willing to host them at the large building on his campus.
Perfect.
Okay, so that's schedule. Those meetings will be listed. Parks and Recs will put that out.
Yep, Parks and Recs is going to work with me to get some courses scheduled. There will be no more than 6 participants. The price is to be determined, and it'll be targeted for groups age 12 and older.
When you say the digital map files, do you have a specific format that you're looking at?
However you guys have them, we can make that work.
Because we've turned over a couple of CDs to the fire department before. I believe we gave them a KLM file and also just the electronic copies of the paper maps too. So
okay. Unfortunately, you may be aware that we recently had a change in chiefs, and the outgoing chief, quite a bit of data was lost, unfortunately.
Okay.
So if we had them, no one seems to know about it now.
Okay, that's easy.
Thank you very much. That's all I have for you guys.
So before you run then, a lot of our maps, the GIS, including the GPX files, are available off our website, our Merrimack Outdoors website.
Okay.
So a number of those were created from the National Regional Planning Commission. So we could reach out to the National Regional Planning Commission and ask for the raw files if you don't find the format you need.
Oh,
And
that's
since I'm on the NRPC as a representative for the town of Merrimack and executive committee, I can certainly help. So my name is Tim, and I have a town email address, so you can reach out to me.
I appreciate that. That would be great. I will definitely do that. And this is Tim. Okay.
And then just so you know, a lot of our trails are mapped and freely available by people who cycle and everything else. So trailcare.com has a lot of them. And everything. And in fact, what you'll find is some of the trails that we don't document on our maps, you'll find are freely available in the outside community. And if you're curious, we didn't document certain trails because we were trying to discourage their use. So they're unauthorized, you might say.
Yep.
But they do exist and people will use them. So
yeah, they definitely do. And that tends to be where we find people. So we were going to overlay your maps with some of our own.
Yeah. So let me know if I can help.
Great. Thank you very much. Excellent. Anybody have anything else?
Anyone? No? Well, thank you, Melissa, for
thank you for the classes. I'm looking forward to the classes. That'll be good.
Oh, good. I'm excited for them. Perfect. Yeah, you should see something scheduled as early as the end of June.
Good.
All right. Great. Thank you guys so much for the opportunity. I hope you have a good rest of your meeting.
You too. Thanks. Have a great night.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Next item we had up for on the agenda for new business was Meridian Land Services, Amherst and Merrimack potential land swap. And I think I saw a representative from, I did at one point. Oh, yes.
Yep. Ken Clinton with Meridian.
Ken, if you want to start, just tell us what this project was about, what this proposal was.
Yep. Okay. Thank you. And good evening, everyone. It's been a little while since I've been before the Conservation Commission. I think last time was actually in person. With that said, I'm actually representing the Amherst Land Trust. Sally Wilkins of the trust, I dare say close to a year, certainly 8 or 10 months ago, asked me my opinion as a licensed land surveyor regarding this particular issue, which I believe Sally, on behalf of the Land Trust, and perhaps Gage, I think you might have been
yes, Mike Swisher and myself
early on, and then it was assigned more substantially to Mike Swisher, who I understand is no longer with you. So in short, and may I share my screen?
Yes, go
please.
Thank you. So this has to do with a couple of lots right on the Amherst Merrimack town line that were conveyed to each town by the Grader family. And unfortunately, this is a recorded plan at the Registry of Deeds. However, as you may be able to see, the north arrow actually is pointing down to the bottom of the sheet, which is counterintuitive for most and certainly doesn't help our cause. However, with that said, back in 2009, the Grader family conveyed what is known as Merrimack Lot 5A-5 or Lot 5, Map 5A Lot 5, which is a large parcel that contained in its description land in Amherst, which is known in Amherst as Lot 6-20-2. It's about a 1 acre tract. It was just happened to be in the parent description, and the description did say partially in Amherst and partly in Merrimack. However, at the time, it caused no concern or alarms. Some years later, back in 2013, similarly, the Grader family conveyed what is a 5 acre tract, partially in Amherst, and in this blue section, partly in Merrimack, to the Amherst Land Trust. That's Lot 5A 4. And this was brought to the commission after the Land Trust had an interest in asking simply, can we, quote unquote, swap lots? That way the Merrimack owned piece would go to Amherst and the Amherst Land Trust piece would go to Merrimack. And at the time, Mike Swisher was fairly certain that this would require a subdivision, a formal subdivision, on behalf of both planning boards. And I understand his opinion at that point, but Sally asked me, in my experience, did I see any other way? And I responded that I felt the state law section 674:53 part 1 relative to land affected by municipal boundaries was really the perfect scenario, the present resolution in this case. Because in that RSA, it clearly indicates that an owner of contiguous land on both sides of a town line can effectively use the town line as a de facto subdivision without further approval. And as long as the lots, quote unquote, meet zoning for the purposes of their use, then that is reasonable. One might pause and say, perhaps, since the lot in Merrimack that the Amherst Land Trust owns is 1.4 acres, it certainly doesn't comply with town of Merrimack standards. And vice versa, the lot that the town of Merrimack owns, which is about 1 acre in Amherst, that by itself doesn't comply with zoning either. Well, the simple remedy to that, so part 2 of my solution could be that in addition to following the RSA for the land affected by municipal boundaries, that one can consider the merger or the voluntary merger law, which allows a landowner to voluntarily merge land with an abutting piece that's in common ownership. So I view this as a fairly straight and simple matter from law, from process. And I'm going to get to the deeds in just a second. So I think that using the RSA about land affected by municipal boundaries, this is indeed 2 separate tracts. Amherst Land Trust owns in both Merrimack and Amherst, but described in one deed description, treated and identified as 2 separate tracts, certainly by tax map. Similar situation for the land that Merrimack owns. The same is true with the part that's over in the Amherst section. Land affected by municipal boundaries creates 2 separate subdivisions by default. Apply that merger, and since the Amherst Land Trust owns this lot and the immediate one to that would be the east, they could merge what is known as lot 620-5 in with their holdings, and likewise Merrimack could then merge this blue section back in with the abutting lot 5A-5. The one quirk on this is the language in each deed has nearly similar, if not identical, restrictions relative to conservation property, where they each share a clause that says the conservation property may not be further subdivided. Well, subdivision in that context, and I deal with a wide range of clients, a fair amount of towns and conservation properties and easements, and Society for the Protection of New Hampshire Forests has been a client of mine. And I look at that subdivided word as subdivision to create a residential use. It's technically a subdivision already enacted by law, but just not acted upon. So I then further go into the description of the easements more, and the restrictions have several specific purposes. The purpose and intent of the conservation clause assures that the conservation property will be retained in perpetuity in a scenic, forested, wetland, and open space condition, so on and so forth. This action, as I propose a solution to, would not frustrate those conservation purposes. So I view this as quite a simple and clean way to affect the exchange of land owned in Merrimack by the Amherst Land Trust, as well as land in Amherst owned by the town of Merrimack. I didn't have an opportunity to get to this sooner, so I missed having a conversation with Mike Swisher. I don't know if he felt there was other issues of concern, but in my review of this, in my experience, I think these 2 RSAs, the land affected by municipal boundaries, as well as the voluntary merger law, apply to this perfectly, smoothly, cleanly, and simply. So
I just real before you go on any further, Ken, just so everyone understands, Mike was getting his, and Mike and me too, we were getting our, opinions of what had to happen from our lawyer here in town and from the same office in Amherst. The lawyers there saying that's what had to happen. So if you think you found a way around it, we are all, we've all been okay with this from the get-go. It was just the cost.
Engage to that point. So I told Sally that I don't know what I might or may not be doing here. Maybe it's a full subdivision, maybe it's not. I'm at this point consulting pro bono because this isn't, I hope this doesn't go anywhere, and I hope I don't need to do anything more than just advise in this way. What I did propose to Sally earlier was perhaps if I wrote a summary of my opinion from a land surveyor standpoint, applying the law, if I was to provide that to the land trust's attorney, Tom Quinn, if he was to concur, he could then forward my letter along with his cover letter to Merrimack Town Council and see if there's concurrence at that level. Obviously, if there is, then this could proceed, and simply the exchange of deeds is all that would be necessary. In my opinion, there would not be a need for a survey or additional surveys. The descriptions of the properties can literally be per the tax map lot numbers and refer to this plan, which is recorded. So really, Gage and the rest of the commission members, I truly believe that this is as simple as I make it out to be, and I hope that to be the case. So I wanted to bring you up to speed. Obviously, it's been some time. This has been on my desk buried for months. And finally, I felt so bad about it, I really had to act. So here I am. So with that said, if you're, I'm happy to answer any more questions, but I would like to be able to write Tom Quinn, attorney for the land trust, my opinion letter in hopes that he concurs. And if he does, then he'll pass that along to town council or through your body if you think whatever the proper channels for the town of Merrimack might be. Can I answer any questions?
So Ken, when you reviewed the deeds of the abutting properties, do they carry the same or similar conservation language?
I didn't look, I was more concerned, Tim, with ownership to make sure that there are an exact ownership language, which they are. So I think the merger would be appropriate. Certainly what would be Merrimack 5A-5, lot 5, the large one, it has the same exact language as the parcel that would be merged with it. So that would not be a problem. Let's see if the green shaded lot. Yes. So quite frankly, Tim, yes, the answer is absolutely.
Okay. Yeah, I think
Proper
that helps.
Entities, proper same conservation restrictions.
Yeah. So that helps the cause, you might say.
Yeah. And agree. If I felt that the conditions and the purpose and intent of the conservation easements were not going to be held true and in full, I wouldn't be able to recommend this.
Well, internally, I don't know if we've ever voted on this officially, but we've certainly given the go-ahead to pursue this at least twice. Because I went down this road with Andy Powell, and then again with Mike. So we've been trying to do this for some time. If we have an avenue to get it done, I'd like to pursue it just to get this off our books.
So just out of curiosity, because I'm trying to look further down for at the bottom line how much this will eventually end up costing, and I would imagine Amherst will be splitting the cost of it with us. But are we looking at something that is $2,000, $5,000, $10,000? And I'm thinking per town, not total cost.
Gina, that's a hard one for me to comment on. I personally, through Meridian, am volunteering my time to move this forward. So if we, my company or any other company, does not actually have to perform additional on-the-ground survey work, which I truly believe is unnecessary, no new plans or survey plans of any kind should be required. Then there are attorney fees, quote unquote. Certainly the Amherst Land Trust uses a private attorney out of Milford, Tom Quinn. But then there'd be some level of deed review and acceptance through Merrimack Town Council and Merrimack Town Council, spelled differently.
Yeah. Did you follow that exchange? So he meant Merrimack Town Attorney, Town Council, as well as the actual Town Council itself would have to give the final approval.
Okay, thank you. And we appreciate your volunteering your time on this.
You know, I work in both towns quite a bit, and this is very small, and hopefully I might be done after I write my letter. Might be simple. Anything else for me? Again, I was just hopeful to gain some level of interest from the board or the Conservation Commission again, and indicate what I felt was the reasonable path moving forward. So I'll go ahead and proceed. I'll write my letter to Attorney Quinn, who in turn hopefully will then concur and pass that along. I'm thinking it should be addressed to the Conservation Commission, so you then can review it before somebody makes the decision that it's legitimate or worthy enough to then pass up the chain of command. Does that sound reasonable?
Hey, Steve, I think that's the right path, because for this parcel to become part of a Merrimack parcel, it'll probably, I think we own the abutting parcel, therefore it'll have to follow the Conservation Commission's land purchase procedure, which requires us to have a public hearing and vote to approve, and then bring it to the town council for their approval.
Okay. Well, we can certainly act on that as soon as we get it.
So as I send a letter off to Attorney Quinn, I'll copy the Merrimack Conservation Commission as well as the Amherst Land Trust, so everybody's in the loop exactly what I said when, and hopefully keep you apprised of the progress that is hopefully going to happen soon, instead of leaving this on the back burner again.
Excellent.
That's all I have.
Well,
thank you so much, Ken.
Thank you, Ken.
Thank you very much for your time. I'll stop sharing my screen so you can move on.
Okay.
Have a good night.
Thanks, you too. Okay. That was all the items we had for new business. Under old business, the first item we have is the removal of the turtle GPS trackers. Gina, you've been the closest to this. You want to bring us up to speed with what we've got to do next?
Sure. And Gage and Mike Boisvert know about this too. Gage can probably give us more information about the history of the turtle trackers, but right now we do have some turtles that do have trackers on, and those trackers need to come off. We thought that it was all kind of part and parcel, but apparently there is a fee to take them off. I've talked to Jeff. I asked him for an amount, what the highest amount that it could possibly be, and he said 5,000 would be the absolute most, but he expects it to come way under. So I would, once we have a chance to discuss, I would make a motion. They have to come off, so we can't leave the turtles with the trackers on. And right now is the best time to do them. The turtles are on the move. It will be the easiest to find them now. So.
My recollection of, because we've done this, I think only really this is the second time we've done it. I don't remember the first time us having to pay a separate fee to have them taken off. And that was my only reservation about this, is like, I think that perhaps next time, if we ever do this again, we make sure that's roped into the whole contract, or just not do it again, because this is the second time we've done it, and it's interesting information, but I don't know if it's, $5,000 interesting.
I agree, Gage. I find it surprising that we have additional fee to take the trackers off. I thought it was all encompassing.
So, I mean, I know this is we more of discussing it, but unfortunately we do have an obligation to take it off, and unless we want to, go back to Jeff and say if we can negotiate something else, that's really kind of our only option.
Well, the $5,000 is the absolute worst case.
Right. Yeah.
And
I'm expecting it to be less, but
yeah, if they use an intern to do this, it will be considerably less. So I had just asked him, I said, when I go in, I need an absolute highest figure that you can possibly imagine this would be. And he gave me 5,000, but said that it would most certainly come in at much less. So.
I know he indicated that another huge variable, obviously, is how many times he has to go out and look for these trackers before he can locate the 3 landing turtles and and harvest the trackers from them. But he did say timing was critical. This is the time of year that they're easiest to find. And if we procrastinate at all, they're just going to be more and more difficult to locate.
Well, if I get a positive vote tonight, I'm actually going to email him as soon as the meeting's over, so he can be out there tomorrow morning and start getting, searching for those turtles. Because I gotta say, the poor things, they've been carting these trackers around for what, 2 years now? Been a while.
They're pretty small. The trackers.
Still.
Yes.
Still.
Yeah, we have to do it.
Would someone like to make a motion?
I will make a motion to pay to Moosewood Ecological, Jeff Littleton's company, of amount not to exceed $5,000 to remove the turtle trackers from Fund 53.
Second.
Would like to further discuss it? No further discussion? Okay, we'll vote by roll call. I vote yay. Mike Waver?
Yes.
Gina?
Yes.
Cindy?
Yes.
Gage?
Yes.
Eric?
Yes.
And Mike Druin?
Yes.
Okay, that vote passes. 7 yay, 0 nay, and 0 abstained. Second item under old business was the Seedling giveaway. Gage, you did a great recap. Did you want to review that?
I can. Just can someone do you have it on the screen? Can you bring it up, or did everyone get the email?
I got the email.
Yeah, it's okay. So we did end up having a few less seedlings than we expected. We seemed to miss one group of hemlocks, but overall, I mean, what was 325 trees? We have about 25 left that are planted in my backyard right now in buckets, waiting to be used somewhere. So, I know Gina, you said you had a little bit of an inroad maybe of someone that might be looking for them. If we can put them up with the lilacs that you were getting. Is that true?
I'm sorry. Say that again, please.
We're getting some lilacs, I guess, from the.
Yeah, I'm still waiting to hear from Andrew. He went out with the Merrimack High School students.
Okay.
So as soon as we find out about that, and I'm trying to find out from Eversource how tall, if they're common lilacs that will grow to 12 feet or less, because there are restrictions under the power lines. Nothing can grow, I want to say 15 feet. So.
Well, I have the leftovers. They're in buckets and they're growing. So if anyone wants any black walnut, any mountain ash, or a couple red oaks, we still have a few of each.
There we go.
So, but overall, we spent about a little over $400, and we're gonna talk to Sharon and see what if we can maybe get some money back from the state regarding the missed seedlings, and then we can go about our business. It was a well done day. I mean, we had good response from the folks. We got a lot of nice compliments, and we even got people that were trying to donate just to the cause, which was something new. I don't think I've seen that one yet. So it was a good afternoon.
Thanks, Gage.
Yep.
Yeah, the weather cooperated this year. It was thoroughly enjoyable. I think just for the record, this discussion and corresponding minutes from this meeting should suffice, I think, to record that meeting in terms of meeting our rules, because we did have a quorum there. Gage or Tim, is there anything additional I need to do?
No, you didn't conduct business or take votes, correct?
We did not do any of that. The only business
Yeah, so
we did was a seedling giveaway.
Yeah, it was advertised, open to the public, and we talked about very non-MCC stuff, so don't worry about it.
Excellent. Any other questions, discussion about the seedling giveaway? Okay.
We were a little late this year in this process. That's why we ended up with the seedling packets we did. So I think maybe next year we just need to kind of have a reminder earlier to be looking for that, so we don't end up, I won't say scraping the bottom of the barrel, but we definitely go in second picks for what we got for seedlings this year. So, but it still seemed to work out well. So we're good.
I don't know. I think it indicates on the flyer, Gage. We probably could have turned in an order in November or December if we had met and discussed it and agreed on an order.
Right. Yeah. We were definitely late this year. I mean, we were usually a month or so earlier turning in that order. So I went back and looked at last year's. So
Every year we say we're going to do this, Gage, and every year we forget to do it. Can we switch it to 9 to 12 instead of 9 to 1?
It used to be 9 to 12.
Yeah.
And then we just had a lot of people showing up, so we said we'd go a little longer.
Oh, really? Okay. I thought
we can do whatever you'd like.
I think it was the one year you said we should do this from 9 to 12, and I'm like, that's a great idea. So
heck, they show up at 8:30.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, but if we set it at 8:30, people would show up at 8.
Yeah,
so
right.
Yeah. And we're just lucky this year because it was nice and warm. We've been there before, and it's not been a pleasant day. So
it's actually colder in the building.
Yeah, sometimes. But it's not raining in the building.
All right. Well, I guess that takes us to other business.
Steve, I was just wondering, it's on the agenda. Can I bring up? I just have a couple business questions and bring up a couple things.
Sure.
As far as Jeff goes, do we have any more news? I know he's supposed to give a Greater Woods report. And I know that because of COVID that got postponed. Is that going to be lined up for the summer or anything? The study on Greater Woods?
I don't know, Mike. He wasn't doing a spring vernal pool walk. Is that what you're talking about?
No, the whole report we paid him for a while back. I don't ever remember. You're supposed to come and give us a whole.
From Moosewood?
Yeah, we never got the final report or the presentation.
Right, we never got that, did we?
No, he came to visit us at one point, but we didn't get the nothing tangible or electronic.
Right, I thought he was supposed to come back and give us a final report and give us all the info and all that.
Yeah, he was.
Now probably is a good time to ask him for that. So I'll get with Gina and we'll when we send off this communication tonight, maybe we can remind him we're looking for that.
Okay. I have one other thing too.
Yeah.
You probably saw the email, Steve, but Matt Karen just sent us moments ago a parts list for that construct that bridge in Greater Woods, where that stick bridge was, and which is completely even worse now. It's just in shambles. So I have no idea what the cost is yet, but he just sent us the parts list, so we should have the cost by our next meeting.
I did see that, Mike. That's a great point. Thank you for bringing it up. I guess maybe if we could, and I'm happy to do it too. You or I, Mike, doesn't matter. If we reach out to Home Depot, get an estimate on that, we can put it on. We have a meeting in 2 weeks, right? We can put it on the agenda, approve, discuss the funds, then vote on it. And maybe we should ask them for a date. I think the most important part of this process, Mike, the most important part is he has an interest in repairing the stick bridge. But the second most important part might be for some of our bridge building enthusiasts to go out there and be on site when a true bridge building professional performs his craft out there. I know I'd like to go out and see it, but it'd be important to let everyone else know if we have a proposed date, just so we can do some apprenticeship out there.
Right. Well, we'd have to approve it first. I just have a question on large. I mean, I've purchased things before that were kind of small and got refunded the money. When it's a large purchase like this, that might cost, I don't know, what way lumber's going now, say it costs $1,000. What's the procedure? Does the person buying it still front the money, or is that money?
No, we can get a quote. We can get a quote from them, and then we can have the community development department just cut a check. Finance will cut a check for the order.
Home Depot or
right? Yeah, we've used Home Depot in the past. We've also used Reed's Ferry Lumber. They've been very supportive of us in the past on the Conservation Commission for projects in town. So it'd be worthwhile just to talk to them again.
I think last time we looked at doing this for a scout project, we didn't even need to handle the check. We simply took the quote, they filled the order, community development handled the payment, and we simply needed to go transport it to the site. I think that time Home Depot even transported it. Yeah, Mike, do you have a question?
Yeah, I got a 10% veterans discount at Home Depot, just so you know.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, I think they were pretty generous with us last time, but it's good to know. Anything else, Mike Boisvert?
No, we can talk about each other in the loop.
Excellent. Other business? Were there subcommittee updates that anyone wanted to present? Yeah, Gina.
Where's Eric? There's Eric. Eric, do you want to give us a update on the ASD walkathon?
Sure. So we mentioned this last meeting, the Academy of Science and Design, which is a high school in Nashua, wanted to hold a walkathon in Horsell Nature Preserve. It has been scheduled for this Friday, May 21st, between 3:30 and 5:30 p.m. They said that they expect 13 to 15 cars in the parking lot with a maximum of 20. They'll be selling lemonade, and they have promised that they will be picking up any trash. I've sent out the email to the Horsell subcommittee just so they're not caught off guard by this. But yeah.
Thanks, Eric. And the only other thing is to let you know that Wildcat Falls will be joining us. The subcommittee will be joining us on our June 7th meeting, which is our next meeting. And we can get an update from them then about Andrew's walk with the Merrimack High School students and gardening club. And he can let us know where they're going to plant all those lovely things. I will follow up with him and find out about the lilac bushes. I had sent an email and I just haven't heard back yet. So everybody's busy right now. And that's all I have.
I have one for Scholar Waterfront Park Subcommittee is having their first meeting on Sunday, the 23rd at 6:15 on site at Scholar.
Fantastic. When was the date again, Mike?
Sunday the 23rd, 6:15.
Down in the parking lot?
We're meeting at the kiosk.
Okay.
So Sharon knows about that, correct?
She does.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Yeah.
Anyone else? Okay. I don't have any other discussion on communications or correspondence related to the MCC. So that brings us to the presentation of the minutes.
I will make a motion to accept the Merrimack Conservation Commission meeting minutes for May 3rd, 2021 with changes as follows.
Second.
Motion by Gina, second by Cindy. Who would like to go first?
Gina would.
Oh, let's see, what do I have here? I have on page 3, line 49, we're going to change bears to fur bearers. FURBEARERS. On page 4, line 16, we're going to change Chair Perry to Chair Perkins. On page 5, line 35, we're going to capitalize the P in planning. On page 6, line 38, we're going to pluralize parcel, so 5 or 6 parcels. And that is all I have.
Anyone else? No? If that concludes the discussion about the minutes, we'll go ahead and do a roll call vote to approve. I vote yes. Mike Boisvert?
Yes.
Gina?
Yes.
Cindy?
Yes.
Gage?
Yes.
Mike Druin?
Yes.
Eric?
Yes.
Motion carries 7-0. That brings us to public comment. I noticed we do have a member of the public that has joined us. Looks like Sally Wilkins. Justin, can you help me unmute her? Maybe I can. Fantastic.
I'm actually not here for public comment. I'm here for the land trust. The later on your new business.
Oh, okay.
Thanks.
Thank you for joining us. We did that was on our agenda. We've actually covered that already. Meridian Land Services was here and presented
right promptly at 7 because I was here at 7:02.
Oh no, I'm sorry about that. Yeah, our
That's
meeting
good.
starts at 6:30.
Aha, my mistake. Good. Then I'll bail out and wait to hear from Ken.
Well, you know, it was well represented, and it is an agenda item, and this is the public comment period. He did represent it well and kind of charted a path forward with how he was going to offer to draft a letter for us, which he would send to us and our town representatives, and we would forward it the same. If you had other anecdotal information you wanted to add to it.
No, that's fine. I will have to apologize to him because I said I would be here in case there were any questions for the trust directly, but I'm sure he acquitted it quite well because that's what he gets paid to do, right?
I think you'd be proud of his performance tonight. He represented.
I'm sure I would be, and I look forward to moving forward on the project. It seems like an eminently sensible thing to do. All right, thanks everybody. Good night.
Thank you.
Have a good night. Commissioner comments. I'll start with Mike Boisvert.
Yes, I just have a comment about the trail signs and our property signs and things like that. I think it'd be great if we could come up with a standard, like our posts have a green background and they have routed white letters. You know, the trail posts that we have out there. So it'd be kind of great if we could do that with our trail signs, of which we need many, and like our properties are going to need some in the future. It would be great, like if we could advertise and see if we could find someone who is talented woodworker who would like routing or something, and we could provide that person materials, and they could help us with trail signs. So, like, could we post that on Facebook or something, or on our website? Do you guys think that's a good idea?
Yeah, I mean, if we have to come up with a good standard and how it's set up so they all look similar. But we did get some support from the town for the posts. That was all done by DPW during the winter months. So unfortunately, that's when they're a little slower. Right now, they're going to be busy, so we wouldn't get their attention again till late fall.
You think they'd be up for making like whatever 4x16 trail signs and stuff too, or property signs?
We can ask.
Yeah, I mean, because it'd be great to have that kind of routed unit, sign unity, and also it was much more attractive and would look green and all that.
Yeah, we could ask around. I'm a little hesitant. I'd rather put it on a website than put it on Facebook, only because not everyone's on Facebook. And something like this, you want to give everyone a fair chance. And I also think that we should look at 3 different vendors, get some prices, see some examples before we choose one.
There would be no harm in it if we had, I don't know if this is something you have, Mike, but if you have a picture of what you think is the best representative standard, I don't think there would be a harm in sending it to maybe the State Department of Corrections or something. See if a metal one might be made. Something they may do for free.
Yeah, I mean, personally, I would love to see, I want the trail signs to be wooden. It would be great if they were routed. And they're typical, you can see them out there, like if you hike on the trails in the White Mountains and stuff, you'll see routed signs, that some of them have been there for a couple of decades and they eventually have to be replaced. But we have a standard for us, like, because our posts are green with white lettering, we could do that. But we're going to need larger signs for our properties too, in general, and then smaller trail signs or trail junctions, because people are getting lost, I know, in Greater Woods and stuff, and definitely need more signs.
Excellent. Anything else, Mike?
No, that's it.
Gina?
Can I just piggyback on what Mike just said? Do you have a picture of something that you're thinking of?
Yeah, I can get one. I've seen them.
Okay. If you can get one, and we can put some, I don't know if Tim and Mike Druin would be willing to put something up on the Facebook page. Could you guys do that?
Well, first I'll get one and we can look at it as a commission and make sure everybody likes it. And then, okay.
Okay, and then we can get some quotes and see it would be nice to have someone in town do it, but it would be also nice to have someone in town who would be willing to put them up for us and kind of keep an eye on them.
Well,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, we can put them up, and what I was hoping for was, like, we would pay the materials and maybe someone would make them to our specifications that we trusted.
Okay, well, let's put it on our agenda for the 7th, and then you can send a picture to Sharon.
Okay.
And we can talk about it. Okay, and the other thing I would like to say is welcome, Ellen. I in particular am so excited that you are here because I understand you are a writer. And I would love to share some of the writing responsibilities with you. So hopefully in addition to all of the hiking that you do, you would like to do some of the writing for us, because we are in dire need of writing
well,
talent.
sure, I'll be in touch with you about that. You can give me an idea of what's going on.
Okay. I mean, especially, I don't know if you have any experience with writing grants, but
I haven't done that in several years, but it's a muscle I'd like to work out again and get back in shape.
We would love for you to do that. We have plenty of weights for you to practice on. So yeah, we can certainly talk about that. I know Tim Tim has been shouldering a lot of the grant stuff, so Tim can chat with you at some point about that too. Maybe what we can do is we can put that on the next agenda, Tim, talk about some of the grants that are available.
Yeah, we should talk about what's available, because I don't think we've done any writing in quite a while now. So I'm not sure I have good examples to share. So
okay, are we all set with the? I'm trying to remember the rescue fund that was due on the 15th. Are we all set with that?
I was going to talk about that, Gina. I did the American Rescue Plan Fund request. I did send it off to Matt and asked him for. I know he's done a lot of work already putting together some of those costs and so forth, and I'll follow up with him. I can't remember what day it was last week that I sent it over to him, but I'll follow up again tomorrow. I've got it on my notes already.
Okay. Okay, super.
Try to maintain momentum with that.
Okay, great. Well, thank you and welcome.
Welcome, Alan.
Cindy?
I don't have anything except to welcome Ellen. So I'm glad to have you here.
So, Gage?
I don't have anything to add other than welcome, Ellen. I'm glad you decided to join.
See, Eric?
No comment. Welcome, Ellen.
Tim?
So a reminder, I am in front of the town council on the 27th of this month to present chapter 111 updates. And we'll see where the town council wants to go with that. Don't know where in the agenda I am yet. I do owe them some backup data. I'll be sure to share that with all of you before the meeting. When I send it to the town council, I'll send it to all of you so you'll have it. You can see what's going on there. I expect it to take some time to go through all the material. So, and then just a reminder that there'll be another alternate spot opening up soon. So if you've got other people who are interested in participating on the Conservation Commission, there'll be an opening at the end of June.
Thank you, Tim. Mike Jerome?
Well, I had two things, but I forgot one of them. So since I'm sure we're all vaccinated and the CDC said that thing that, vaccinated don't need masks, when are we going to start having in-person meetings?
After July. We're already working with the schedule. The only thing we have to work on is what meeting room we're going to use. Right now, in-person meetings only happen in the Matthew Thornton room, which would require us to change our meeting date. I think we probably are smart to wait another couple of weeks and see if that guidance changes also. Because I know a lot of us have a routine built around Monday meetings, first and third Monday of each month. But if that doesn't change, we can talk about either going second and fourth Monday or using the Matthew Thornton room, or look at a different schedule. But there are other meetings. The school board meets on our night, so we can't both be in the Matthew Thornton room at once. Did I answer your question?
Yeah. Oh, and I remembered the second one. Does someone have a list of the projects that the scouts could do? I'd like to send it out to them. I'm sure they have their, Eagle Scout qualifications coming up. So
we've certainly talked about putting together a kind of a punch list, some a la carte projects that would be right for various groups, scouts, and any other volunteers that are looking for those sorts of things. I think we've talked about it in a number of these meetings. We came up with a number of problematic or traditionally problematic areas in terms of litter and trail abuse. We have those areas for someone that's looking to do trail maintenance, that sort of thing. But I don't know that we have a whole lot else in terms of a list that we could provide someone right now. Does anyone have? Yeah, Gina.
Well, I was going to say, since I had scouts before and I actually still have the Girl Scouts, my suggestion would be, since we're starting to have subcommittee meetings, is that each subcommittee talk to your group and get a list from the subcoms, find out what scouting opportunities there would be, and then on the June 7th meeting or post meeting, we can get together and we can put together a list of what is available. So I know when Wildcat actually has a couple of things that they would love the scouts to do, but you can talk to Sklar when you have your next meeting, and Eric when you have your Horse Hill meeting. Greater Woods can, and then we can get some ideas going on here. Shall I agenda that for the 7th, or shall we push that off a little bit, let the subcoms meet?
We've talked about it with this group. I don't know that it's going to yield a lot of fruit until we give the subcommittees a chance to meet and bring us some ideas. They're obviously the ones closest to where the problems are. And I think we've exhausted a lot of our great ideas. Does anyone feel like there's an? Yeah, Mike.
I think the first meeting in July might be better.
Okay. Why don't we do that, Gina? I think we need to give the subcommittees an opportunity to collect some ideas. Anything else, Mike? Ellen, do you have any?
Nothing at this time, but thanks for the warm welcome. I look forward to working with you.
Likewise. I just had 2 comments. One was the rescue plan funding, and I've already talked about that. The second one was I did reach out to Andrew Butler. He was the UNH grad student, and he was thoroughly appreciative that we were going to let him do his study, and he promised that he would provide us with all kinds of great photographs and a summary of the report that he does. I think it'll be quite some time before we see that. If I remember right, it was a lengthy project, but that was the feedback I got from him. Did I skip anybody? No hands up? Would anyone like to make a final motion?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion by Gage, second by Mike Boisvert. By roll call vote, I vote yes. Mike?
Yes.
Gina?
Yes.
Cindy?
Yes.
Gage?
Yes.
Eric?
Yes.
And Mike Druin?
Yes.
Excellent. Well, thank you all. That was a short meeting. This meeting's adjourned at 7:33 p.m. Have a great night.
Take care, everyone. Night, guys.
Merrimack TV is committed to our community. From gavel-to-gavel coverage of town and school board meetings to updates on town services and projects, we aim to keep you connected.
Good morning. I'm Kyle Fox, Public Works Director for the town of Merrimack.
Hi, I'm Diane Trippett. I'm the town clerk tax collector for the town of Merrimack.
I'm Captain Matt Tarleton with the Merrimack, New Hampshire Police Department.
And keep the public informed of every motion.
All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
And many moments, so you can be confident that we're here for you. Thanks for watching. Stay connected. Follow Merrimack TV on Facebook.